It is a beautiful day for football in Boise, Idaho at Albertson Stadium. And today, Wyoming head coach Craig Bolt has his team bowling once again this year, led by sophomore quarterback Levi Williams. Meanwhile, Kent State head coach Sean Lewis and his team have come all the way from Kent State. They've made the long trek from Boise, appearing in the 5th bowl game in school history. And welcome to the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Mania. And today we are at Albertson Stadium as Kent State, out of the MAC, takes on Wyoming from the Mountain West. And a good afternoon to you, along with Kelly Stauffer. I'm Bill Roth. We'll be joined by Lauren Sisler throughout our broadcast today for what should be a fun game. The up-tempo flash fast attack of Kent State against the traditional old-school ground and pound from Wyoming.
Well, first of all, I hope you appreciate this day I ordered you here in Boise, Idaho. There's a saying that contrasting styles make for good television. We really do have contrasting styles offensively here today.
And a really exciting team from the MAC. Kent State has a tremendous quarterback, the Conference Player of the Year, quarterback Dustin Crum.
If your offense is a sports car, you better have a guy that can handle the driving of it, and they have that at Kent State in Dustin Crum. He's a willing passer. He's a willing runner. The best part of this game for him, Bill, is his decision-making. Absolutely outstanding, which allows them to go fast, and we're going to see that today.
And boy, are we in a treat to see one of the best linebackers in all of college football, one of the best to ever play at Wyoming, in Chad Muma.
If you and I walked into a lab and tried to build a linebacker, I would hope we would come out with this guy. He's electric, he has length, he has speed, as you see right there, but it's the reading and the diagnosing that the next level is drooling about. This young man will play 10 to 12 years at the next level.
Should be a lot of fun today on the Blue in Boise. Kent State, Wyoming meet for the first time ever in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Ready for football in Boise. Let's go down to Lauren Sisler with head coach Sean Lewis of Kent State.
Coach Lewis is certainly fired up over here. He's got his eyes on the field. He's ready to go for kickoff. What excites you most about this matchup against this Wyoming football team?
Get an opportunity to compete again with this great seniors and obviously the physical game that this game's going to be in the trenches.
All right, thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Wyoming won the toss, deferring its option to the second half. Kent State will receive, and we are underway from Boise. And this is Nykeem Johnson on the kick return out to about the 30-yard line. And it'll be first down there for Kent State in our first offensive possession. And boy, are we in for a treat today, aren't we?
Dustin Crum is what Coach Lewis talked about, being a program trendsetter. He's the best player on the offensive side, and an offense, Bill, that you and I talked about, that wants to go as fast as it absolutely is administrated here today.
He was the player of the year in the conference. Now, when we say fast, we really mean warp speed, don't we? But don't necessarily think it's going to be a lot of passing. They run the ball. That was Cooper getting ahead before Pate knocked him down. But look how fast they're going to get to the line of scrimmage. We'll see this all day.
And they will throttle it a little bit. Sometimes it'll be as fast as they possibly can, and other times they'll back off just a skosh.
First throw for Crum, and some miscommunication there. He threw it to the left, and no one was home. It'll bring up a third down.
I think mainly the miscommunication was the result of pressure, and that's going to be a key. I mean, the numbers offensively, Bill, are absolutely off the hook. 8th in the FBS. in total offense, pass or rushing the football. So they will spread it, they will go fast, but don't forget, they want to run it right down Main Street most of the time.
Well, you know, they've set a school record already, over 6,000 yards this year.
That's incredible.
First third down of the day for Crum. They keep it on the ground. Nice cutback. And Cooper gets ahead to about the 42-yard line.
And, Bill, this is a big difference. It's third and a pass down traditionally, not for this offense. They go fast and they'll run it in those situations.
Quickly get it to the left side. That's Nykeem Johnson. He's out of Washington, D.C., a transfer from Syracuse, where he was an all-ACC kick returner. But quickly back to the line on second down. Opening possession of the game. Here goes Cooper again. A durable guy. He's going to want the ball as much as he can, and they're going to use him a lot today. Xavier Williams, the other back, not playing today, so we're going to see a whole lot of number one. Opening drive, another first down. Cooper to the left, and he gets shoved out of bounds after a small gain. That was Easton Gibbs with the play.
So the speed was somewhat regulated until Kent State gets that first down. And when they get the first down, that's the cue to Dustin Crum to go fast and faster on this drive now. He will back off at times. Basically, they're box counters. If it's 6 or more, typically they're going to run pass option or throw the football. If it's 5 or less, they're going to run the football. We've already seen that today.
Keep it on the ground and a big hole up the middle again for Cooper.
And there's rarely a play where Dustin Crum isn't trying to cancel one defender in the quarterback read game.
Less than 2 minutes into the game, Kent is down to the 37-yard line. Cooper gets it again, gets a couple yards on that play. What challenges does this pose for a defense? You can't sub, can you?
No, you can't sub, and it really simplifies what you do defensively, because the next play is coming, and you want everybody to kind of go back to a default call, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Crum going to get knocked down for the first time today. Sacked back on the 40-yard line, and that was Cole Goodbolt again with the play. The junior nose guard from Wisconsin.
Goodbolt is their pressure guy. He's fourth in all of the country for defensive linemen at tackles. He's the inside pressure guy, and this is the kryptonite to a go-fast offense, is getting them behind the sticks where they have to throw the football and slow it down a little bit.
5th sack of the year for Goodbolt. This is a free play for Kent State. A deep shot to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Wyoming appeared to jump offside on the play, and Crum took a shot.
And that's where you see the experience of Crum. They're in third and behind the sticks.
Offside. Defense, number 94, in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty.
So Crum uses the snap count, gets an easy 5 yards, and it was Goodbolt once again. He has a high motor, and he's right over the football, that left tackle, right side of the offensive line, and you literally are kind of barking in his direction, knowing that he has a great get-off, and he wants to get after Dustin Crum.
2 quarterbacks in the game now. Schlee is in the game as well. He takes the handoff. He's the backup quarterback running right, and he gets popped on the 35 by Chad Muma.
And that's the first time we've seen the crab package. Schlee is from Maryland, known for its high level of blue crab, and so that's what they call this package. And there are all kinds of shenanigans that are going to come out of that package before the day's out.
You a crab guy? Crab legs?
I do.
Crabs,
I do.
Crab? What's your choice?
I like it all if someone else does all the hard work and gets to the flesh of the crab for me.
This is 4th down, and they're going to go for it here. 4th and 6. The line to make is the 27. Crum in the gun. Gonna let it go on the quick slant, and it's incomplete, intended for Cephas. So Wyoming will get the ball, turning it over on downs. That was Colton that had the coverage on the play. Cephas is their top receiver. Wyoming will get the ball when we come back to Boise for the first time with the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. We are back in Boise, Idaho, just underway. First meeting ever between these two teams. The kids from Laramie have been here before. They're part of the Mountain West Conference, about 684 miles. Those kids from Ohio had a long trip out here, didn't they, Kelly? Wyoming, first possession of the day, and they're going to pound it on the ground today. Our first look at Xavier Valladay from Brother Rice High School near Chicago in Madison, Illinois.
So everything we said about Kent State offensively, think the opposite of that when we're talking about Wyoming offensively. They're a ball control, ground and pound, however you want to say it, and time of possession matters greatly to the Wyoming Cowboys here today.
First throw of the day for Levi Williams, and he connects for the first down on the left side. And that'll move the sticks. First catch of the day for Joshua Cobbs. Levi's out of Canyon Lake, Texas. It's right between Austin and San Antonio in that part of the state. Big guy. He really looks the part, doesn't he?
He does, and we were on the field watching him throw. Great arm talent, too. He just has to develop more confidence and maybe a higher sense of anticipation on his throws. Outside of that, physically, he has everything.
From the middle of the field, and they cross with Valladay into Kent State territory down to the 44-yard line. And visiting with Coach Bohl, he said one of Williams' underrated strengths is his ability to manage the run game. And he does that very well.
And you have to, because that's who Wyoming is. They're a run-first team. They want to be balanced. They were kind of trending toward that earlier in the year, but they weren't getting good quarterback play. They went back to, hey, we're going to run it. Even when the other team thinks we're going to run it, we're going to throw only when we have to. And Levi Williams has to manage that at the line of scrimmage and get him in and out of the right play.
They go two tight ends and out of the pistol. Valladay cuts back to the left, and that Kent State defense, which has been a defense in change and somewhat turmoil during the course of this season, got better. A change at coordinator. That's a key play up front. That time Pierre in there made the play.
Yeah, defensive coordinator Tom Kaufman was fired essentially mid-season. C.J. Cox, the defensive back coach, is now calling the defense. You will recognize him on the sideline in a boot. Hopefully he's agile with that boot because he's going to get some traffic his direction.
On third down, Levi throws to his tight end, and that'll be enough for the first down. 2 for 2 for Levi Williams. Let's go down to Lauren.
Yeah, guys, talking about the progression for Levi Williams, Coach Polasek said it's critical for him and his offense to remain process-oriented, and it's a big reason on his improvement and how he's gotten better and earned this starting role, providing that spark for the offense and staying within the rules of his progression. He has a clear understanding of what's going on, putting that an enormous amount of preparation that is required of a quarterback playing at this level, and it's really in his decision-making.
And as we know, he replaced a really popular guy in Sean Chambers, who's a three-time team captain at that position. On the ground again, and that's Swen's first carry of the day.
And this is the biggest advantage in this game, is this matchup. A physical offensive line, downhill run game. They love doing it, and a Kent State defense has been gashed this season.
Williams flips it to the right side. And we've got whistles. They may have gone too fast, and Kent State may have had 12 players on the field.
Yeah, I think it was intentional, and I think that's the only time you're going to see Wyoming go fast is when they think they can get the defense caught in a substitution situation.
Illegal substitution. Defense, 12 players on the field at the snap. 5-yard penalty.
And what will happen is Levi will get
down.
the signal from the sideline to hurry and get a quick snap, and when you have one of those big guys up front, you can see him hustling to try to get off the sideline. He didn't get there, and that's a free 5 yards, and it's a good use of the snap count going fast for Wyoming, and we're not going to say that often today.
1st and 5 on the 16. Wyoming now has 3 tight ends in the game. Williams, first man was covered, and the QB hightails it out of bounds ahead to just about the 15-yard line.
So this is who Wyoming is offensively. They love to run, especially in the box in a physical way, behind a really aggressive physical offensive line with a proven ball carrier in Xavier Valladay. He has a lot of wear and tear on his body the last 2.5 years, but he's up to the task. A lot of times a move tight end or a fullback in front of him, and it's about getting down Main Street as fast as you can.
This is Swen with his second carry. Bowls over a man, gets the first down to the 6-yard line. That is a strong run for a powerful Texan from Fort Worth, Titus Swen.
And Bill, that's the difference this year in Wyoming's run game, is it isn't just Valladay. Titus Swen is more of a physical guy, although Valladay's a really good yards after contact guy, and that's where you saw Swen at his best, just getting the defender on his back after contact.
Williams keeping, and Williams spins in for the score. Touchdown, Wyoming.
If Coach Bohl could draw up a drive and put it in the dictionary of Wyoming football, it would look like that. Efficient quarterback play, moving Levi Williams outside the pocket. He was accurate. Some quarterback run mixed in. Violent and physical downhill against the defense of Kent State that has had issues, to say the least, stopping the run this season.
John Hoyland adds the extra point, and Wyoming gets us started. Touchdown run by Levi Williams puts the Pokes in the lead.
The Famous Idaho Potato Bowl is brought to you by Famous Idaho Potatoes. Always look for the Grown in Idaho seal, and AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, and secure.
Oh, nothing like some crinkle fries to get your afternoon going. 7-0 Wyoming has the lead. That's our Spuddy Buddy on the field with Pistol Pete.
And that could end poorly if they got out of hand with one another. Pistol Pete probably would make his favorite potato out of, what's the Spuddy Buddy?
Yes.
What's your favorite potato?
Hey, crinkle cut fries.
Is that right?
But I have a twice baked with a big old steak.
Oh, yeah.
How about you?
Cheese and bacon on it?
Mm-hmm.
Our Lauren Sizzler on the sideline would eat all of those fries, and she would have like a gallon of ranch dressing and or ketchup, or preferably both, actually.
Here is the kickoff from the 3-yard line, and this is Poke on the return. Bounces off one tackle and out of bounds near the 20. I guess the question now is, can they protect Crum and give him some time to operate back there?
This is how you beat a go-fast offense. You get pressure on their decision maker in the pocket, and Wyoming has done that successfully a couple of different times, and then it's in your face press man coverage outside, and Wyoming loves to do that with C.J. Colden and Azizi Hearn. Both corners love to play press man coverage, so Kent State's going to have to prove it today.
They're going to go empty, and a 5-receiver look for this possession from the 20 for Crum. And he's going to take a deep shot, and he's got Cephas running free. Dante Cephas to the house. 80-yard touchdown.
Well, football is a game of answers. That's a pretty good answer right there. And that was zone coverage on the back end, and both Colden and the safety Weber just allowed Cephas, the go-to big play guy, to run a seam in between both of those zone defenders and run right by him. That was way too easy if you're Wyoming defensively.
Andrew Glass adds the extra point and ties things up. Cephas, his 9th touchdown of the season, an 80-yarder for the Penn Hills product from suburban Pittsburgh. Crum and the Golden Flashes tie it up. Well, coming up at 7:30 Eastern right here on ESPN, the 12-1 University of Texas and San Antonio Roadrunners take on number 24 San Diego State in the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl. Well, Mr. Cephas, 80-yard touchdown, the longest of his career and the longest in famous Idaho Potato Bowl history.
Wow. Well, that was then the longest answer and the best answer in this game as well. That was needed for Kent State after that drive that resulted in nothing in drive number 1 today.
Andrew Glass to kick it back to the Cowboys, and a short kickoff to about the 12-yard line. And the return to about the 30-yard line. What happened on this play, Kelly?
Well, Dante Cephas is just inside the 20-yard line at the bottom, and he gets easy access to the secondary, which is a problem. C.J. Colden and the safety eventually is number 8, Weber. Someone has to not let easy access to the best receiver on Kent State down the seam, and so they did. You can't keep up with him speed-wise. He splits Colden and Weber and ends up with a big play. So somebody has to get hands on him to impede his progress before he gets loose in the secondary like that.
Let's see how the Cowboys respond. We do expect potentially a really high-scoring game today. This is Valladay. And he ran into Marvin Pierre once again. That's the second tackle for Mr. Pierre. Valladay's going to get the ball an awful lot today out of Brother Rice High School near Chicago.
Well, this is absolutely a game about whose tempo wins out. If Wyoming's tempo wins out, they'll win this game because they want to slow it down. They want to smash it, physical run, and then obviously Kent State's big play and as fast as you can go offensively.
Here is Swen spinning off the first hit, stays on his feet. And a lot of gold helmets finally bring him down near the 34-yard line.
And you're going to hear some pads popping because Wyoming plays that way. They would like to invite you offensively into a fold booth and just beat you up for 60 minutes. Kent State hasn't held up in those conditions very well. They're giving up almost 200 yards a game rushing coming into this one. So up front, they're going to have to get off blocks, and they're going to have to tackle well on the second and third levels defensively.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because that's what Coach Bohl said. He said, we really do want a fist fight today. Not literally a fist fight, but a physical type of game. Williams going to have to ad-lib here. And the Golden Flashes bring him down. That's going to officially be a sack. It's a loss of a yard, and a good job up front for the Kent State defense.
And again, you see defensively the template for Kent State. Hold up on first and second downs against a run, force behind the sticks pass down, and Levi Williams is not real comfortable doing that right now. And that's what you saw, resulting in Wyoming needing to punt right here.
Ralph Boaz is the punter, and his first punt of the day. And it's going to drive Johnson all the way back inside his 15. He's a terrific returner. He gets belted down just shy of the 30-yard line. And Kent State will take over the ball there. That was Cameron Stone with the hit on Nakeem Johnson, who was an all-ACC kick returner. Well, now let's take a look at our clutch delivery, brought to you by Chipotle. And it is this guy right here, number 40.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Did you make this pick, or?
That's unanimous. The whole state of Wyoming is clapping at that one.
130 tackles.
That's
fourth in the FBS.
Amazing.
That's 2 years for a lot of people, but this young man has everything you want in a middle linebacker. Read and diagnose, and he has length, and he has strength, and he has speed, by the way.
And he's a smart kid, too, a mechanical engineering major.
Well, he's not going to use that degree for a while because he's going to play a decade plus at the next level and make a lot of money. That guy is how you build middle linebackers, and Wyoming has a history all of a sudden under Craig Bohl of having really good guys at that position.
Oh, you're not kidding. Oh, before the play, penalty.
Number 89, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Yeah, Logan Wilson, I watched him play with the Bengals over the weekend.
Yeah, he's a good one. Logan was a local kid, and Chad Muma's from Lone Star, Colorado, not very far away from Laramie, but Logan Wilson was down the street in Casper from Natrona High School.
2nd and 15. Here is Cooper, and he got ahead for about 3 or 4 on the play, and on cue, Muma makes the tackle.
And this is the type of game that Muma loves to play in because of his speed. He's adaptable. He would like to play in a phone booth as well, but if you want to spread it out and go fast, it just gives him more opportunities to make more tackles, quite frankly.
3rd and 7 for Dustin Crum.
Don't snooze on quarterback draw here.
And they go empty. 5 receivers. Crum has a lot of blue turf. He's going to pick up the first down with his legs. You know, he's a big guy. He's 6'3", 207, but he can pick up yardage with his feet, and that's something that's hurt Wyoming this year. If you go back, talk with their coaches, even the mobile quarterbacks have hurt them. That time, they gang up on Cooper. He gets ahead to the 46-yard line. Muma with his 4th tackle of the day.
And Bill, to your point about the running quarterback, San Jose State and Hawaii have different type of guys. They're twitchier and quicker. Crum is a efficient lumberer, if you will, but he makes good decisions, and he's an efficient runner, and he's more importantly a willing runner of the football in this flash fast offense from Kent State.
They fake the sweep. Crum has room to run once more, and he slides down just shy of the 45-yard line. Got hit late after the slide, and that will draw a flag.
After the play, personal foul, late hit by the defense, number 49. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That'll be a 15-yard penalty, and Coach Bull not happy about it. Once you start the slide, you can't be hit. By the way, that's a new rule now for the bowl games. We'll call that the Kenny Pickett rule.
Yeah,
from what he did in the ACC championship game. As soon as you begin the slide, you're done.
Yeah, you have to go down for that reason, because they protect the quarterback as soon as the quarterback commits going to the ground. But that wasn't much of a tap by the defender.
On the move again, inside Wyoming territory. That'll move the ball ahead to the 27-yard line. Another completion for Crum to Nykeem Johnson. Look how quick they get back to the line. Cooper cuts it back inside to the 25. It's going to bring up about a 3rd down and 3 now for Kent State.
And they will most likely, Kent State, go fast all over again. Maybe sub and get a little bit bigger in 3rd and shorter yardage, which means the defense from Wyoming can substitute as well. And I would recommend when Wyoming substitutes, because the offense does, Wyoming needs to take their time in that part of it.
3rd down and short. Cooper's got the ball. Cooper stays on his feet, and he's got the first down to the 18-yard line. Crum executed such a pretty good fake. He got crushed on the play, but he'd given the ball to Cooper.
Yeah, Wyoming was coming with an edge blitz, and Crum held on to that mesh point forever.
In the red zone, a quick pass on the screen to Cephas, and that's defended well by the Cowboys. That was Golden again that came down to make the play on the sophomore Cephas.
Holden and Hearn on the other side are long, physical, in-your-face press man guys, and I don't think Kent State can make a living out on the edges today with those two guys the way that they defend.
They set up the screen to Cooper, the catch on the 15, and he spins his way down to near the 12-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 4 now for the Golden Flashes.
And Crum is literally calling his guys back to get lined up so he can go fast once again. They're flipping the formation, so Wyoming defensively will have a little bit more time on this play.
Trips to the right. Good fake, and a touchdown for Dustin Crum.
Pause it.
Kent State takes the lead on the touchdown run by the Mid-American Conference Player of the Year.
And Dustin Crum does such a good job of holding the mesh point for a long time. And that's what the defense had a hard time with. The defenders in the end went for the running back, and Crum had nobody checking him. So this is called the mesh point. When the quarterback sticks it into the belly of the running back, watch how long Crum holds that. Long time, and 2 defenders take 1. Nobody's there to defend Crum, and Crum waltzes into the end zone. Very good ball handling by a quarterback that makes great decisions, and then he's efficient at running the ball when he has to.
12th touchdown of the year for Crum. Lauren?
Yeah, guys, Coach Lewis said that one of his biggest mistakes was not naming Dustin Crum the starter when he was hired on as the new head football coach here in the 2018 season. He said this Kent State program would not be where they are now without him. As the backup, he kept working, lived in the football facility, changed up his diet. He created new habits and just stayed locked into the process. And that's how he got here to the finish line with this opportunity to close out his college career as the starter with the win. And, of course, only the second in school history, y'all. That would be special.
Yeah, that that was a good decision by Coach Lewis to recognize that. So you're right. Crum started games in 17, and then a new staff came in 18, and Coach Lewis didn't name him the starter. He kept plugging away, kept chopping wood, and eventually he's a trendsetter in that offense now.
This kickoff muffed near the 3, and it'll go into the end zone. He could have taken the touchback there. Instead, Swen ran it back out. The impetus of the ball carried it into the end zone, but he decided to bring it out nonetheless. Well, Bowl Mania rolls on tomorrow night with the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. Running back Tyler Beatty set the Missouri single-season rushing record this year. He leads the Tigers against an Army team. They know how to run the ball, too. Second in the nation in rushing yards per game, of course, with that triple option flex bone attack. Our coverage starts at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN and the app. You see Tyler Beatty's numbers. He
those
likely goes
impressive.
over 2,000 tomorrow night.
Tremendous catcher of the football as well.
Well, catch your breath. Wyoming gets the ball back trailing now. So as we come down to the end of this first quarter, this game is going exactly the way we thought it would, right? Kent State's going to play super fast. Wyoming's going to try to pound it a little bit.
Yeah, and the difference is Wyoming's first drive was methodical and workmanlike and ended up in the end zone. The second drive, they didn't get very good fits up front in the run game. Kent State got the ball back way too quickly and scored on their second possession. Actually, it was their third possession.
On 2nd down and 8, the Kent State defense has played really well. That was Valladay on what is likely the final play of the first quarter. And he's knocked down by Marvin Pierre on the final play of quarter number 1. Well, Crum has thrown for 1 and run for a touchdown. Kent State with the lead after 1. We are back. Time for our drive recap, brought to you by Verbo. Williams got us going with a 5-yard touchdown that put Wyoming up 7-0, and then the Crum show began. First, an 80-yard touchdown pass to Cephas. That tied things up in the first. And then Crum holds the ball here and runs ahead for a 12-yard score. It's Kent State, the 14-7 lead. It looks like we could have a shootout on the blue today here in Boise. And all attire goes, evidently, here this afternoon. Big third down to start quarter number 2, though, for Wyoming. And Williams lets it go, and it's through the hands of the intended receiver, Parker Christensen. That was Elvis Hines who had the coverage on the play, and a nice job by the cornerback from Camden, New Jersey. He's a first-team all-conference performer. And
that was well thrown by Williams. Christensen should have had that football, and it would have been an important conversion. A 3rd and 7 is not exactly Wyoming's wheelhouse, but that was well done quarterback-wise, but it was covered well. Christensen needs to catch that football.
Here is the punt for Fawaz. Hakeem Johnson watches it bounce, and it's going to take a Wyoming roll inside the 35. And Kent State leading 14-7 will get the ball back. Led by Dustin Crum. Andrew Soder's their offensive coordinator. They said they wanted to run 25 plays in the first quarter. And they ran 22, but one drive went 80 yards in one play. They're pretty much staying on schedule, are they not?
Yeah, I think they would like the way that first quarter went, and they would like to have correspondingly 50 at halftime. Their goal every game is 100 plays. That's a lot.
This is Brian Bradford, his first touch of the day, and he gets near the first down to the 43-yard line. He's from Christian Brothers in St. Louis. Strong run for Bradford. Let's go down to Lauren again.
Hey guys, let's highlight Sean Lewis. He's hard to miss over here on the sidelines. We got him before the game. He's got the beard game going on strong.
Here goes
Bradford. We got something going on.
Yeah, Bradford, the big run, and Bradford on his second carry nearly took it the distance down to the 3. It's a 55-yard run for the big fella, 243 pounds, lumbering down the field. First down and goal. To the air and through the hands of Cephas, incomplete.
Usually when Bradford comes in the game, it's in situational football to pick up a first down or short yardage, goal line type stuff. The human bowling ball at 6 feet tall, 243 pounds, actually has a little giddy up to him also.
Second and goal from the 3. And this time Wyoming gangs up on Crum and pushes him back to near the 7-yard line. It'll be third down. Muma and Easton Gibbs, who's the will linebacker who lines up right next to him, got all over Crum there.
And the difference, we saw this long mesh on the touchdown run by Crum. The difference is Crum is going outside this time and Bradford is going downhill. Crum's wheelhouse is not to go horizontally in the run game. He wants to lumber downhill quickly. Wyoming was able to get him on that play.
Third down and a penalty coming up.
Offense number 14, 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
You know, they're missing a key guy, Kelly. Chris Leach, the tight end who had several touchdowns this year, not playing today. He's a key red zone guy for them.
Yeah, he's kind of the closer in the red zone. Has 7 catches, a couple of touchdowns, and the big guys up front flinch a little bit in the face of Wyoming's pressure look, and it moves Kent State back by 5.
Well, the left tackle did more than flinch. Third down, Crum in trouble, and Crum is sacked back on the 19-yard line by Muma. All year long, when they need a big play, they get it from either Muma or Kroll. They had the ball on the 3-yard line, and now it's going to end up being a field goal attempt from near the 20.
Gregoire, the offensive lineman, was supposed to be the personal protector outside, and the defense kind of outflanked him. Maybe Crum got a little bit wider than his offensive lineman anticipated, and Kroll was able to blow that play up.
36-yard attempt, and the field goal attempt is good. Andrew Glass puts Kent State up 17-7 early in the second. Well, one of the great things you see at bowl games are charitable events, and Kent State's team tackled hunger this week during its trip out here. They did a wonderful job. Coaches talked about how wonderful it was to see their team giving back to the community here. And we see this all over the country, but this is such a big part of the community here in Idaho. Kelly, with the players do and what Sean Lewis's team did on their trip to this part of the country.
Yeah, Sean Lewis told us it was a great opportunity for the players to kind of take the focus off the game, but also take the focus off themselves a little bit and consider the hard times of other people. So that was a tremendous outing by Kent State.
Kickoff back to Wyoming. And this is Swen again, and he'll power his way. He's got some strong legs, doesn't he? It's going to take 9 of them to bring him down. Boy, Swen is really tough. But getting back to Kent State, you know, they were so disappointed. Their goal coming into the season was to win the MAC championship. They finished 6-2, won the East, and then lost that game to Northern Illinois. They didn't play well. Coach said we didn't coach well, all those things, right? And to come out here and have a chance for redemption is huge for them.
Yeah, and you can see really the building blocks that Sean Lewis has gone through in the progression of his 4 years there, and I think he's right on pace.
Ball on the ground. Swen got a lucky bounce and picks it up, but that'll move the ball back to the 32-yard line. Lauren, you've got more on that. You've been around the coach this week.
Yeah, and I think it's worth noting there is a lot of energy and enthusiasm coming from both teams on both sidelines as they try to close out this season on a high note. And Kent State quarterback Dustin Crum said they want to right their own wrongs after that poor performance in the MAC championship game, as you talked about. And he just hopes to leave this program in a place a lot better to continue to grow and find consistent success.
Loss on the play back to the 32-yard line after Naor put it on the ground. Here's Valladay with a strong run, and he gets past the original line of scrimmage ahead to near the, they're going to mark this all the way to the 41-yard line.
first contact was about the 35. And then it became a rugby scrum, which I guarantee you, Bill, Wyoming is perfectly fine with that. Every play becoming a scrum that gets 3.5 yards, and then they just extend drives that way. They need points on this drive, but they need points in their own way on this drive with a methodical drive through the run game.
Third down. Pressure and another sack back on the 35 or 6-yard line.
Taylor Davis Jr. gets around the horn. You can see him coming in the backside, beating Rudy Stouffer, and eventually arrives there. It's called running the rail. You set your outside foot, you come downhill, and the quarterback, Levi Williams, didn't even know that someone was sneaking in the back door.
That's his second sack of the day. And Fawaz in to punt it again. Kicking it away from Johnson. And it'll roll out of bounds on the 35. Kent State's defense. The story so far. Golden Flashes up 10.
The famous Idaho Potato Bowl is brought to you by TaxAct. File for less and get more with TaxAct, the official tax filing software of bowl season.
Here's some of the Kent State Bowl history. It started with the Refrigerator Bowl when they played the University of Delaware back in 1954. There's Lou Mariano running through the fridge, Lauren.
Pretty outstanding fullback, Mariano there from Canton, Ohio, who was actually a deaf mute. He would get the plays by reading the quarterback's lips in the huddle, then wait until the ball was snapped before heading to the line of scrimmage. And that year, in fact, he eclipsed the 1,000-yard mark. Pretty remarkable story.
Remarkable marketing back in the day, too, right? They took the field running through a refrigerator, the newest addition to everyone's kitchen.
I bet you love running through a refrigerator, Bill, as much as you love the cold.
I run to the refrigerator.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. And the only time he doesn't run to the refrigerator is when he gets crinkle fries on the way to the refrigerator. So no question about it. That's pretty intense.
Defense number 28. The ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Kent State leading. They get the pass interference call on Gibbs. This becomes a key defensive possession in a way, don't you think, for Wyoming at this point? They're kind of struggling offensively. They have got to, at some point, get a stop of Kent State.
Yeah, I think this is a critical drive right here. There was pressure on Crum, which is the good news. The bad news, Easton Gibbs was early arriving at that slant route.
This is the Crab package with both quarterbacks in the game. They fake the run, the flip to Cephas, and he slips and goes down near the 35-yard line.
That was well done by Sheely. There's a lot going on here, and in the end you have Cephas, who's just running the bang route, kind of a deep slant route off of a lot of stuff in the back.
Schlee flips it out on the right to Crum. That was the trick play, but Garrett Krall was going to have none of it. He read it well. That was going to be a double pass.
I would stick to play number 1 in that Crab package. Play number 2 did not work that well. Schlee throws it out to Crum. Crum was going to throw it back to Schlee, but that didn't happen on time, and Wyoming blew it up. And Wyoming now has a chance to get off the field by getting Kent State behind the chains.
Crum on second down and 20. A flag is thrown. He fires, and it's deflected incomplete, and there's a second flag. Yeah. Let's go back to the previous play here. What happens here, Kelly?
Well, Schlee's going to bang it out to another quarterback, and he's going to actually throw it back to the quarterback sneaking down the middle of the field. But it was blown up with pressure before Crum could actually do anything, and so there were 2 penalties on the next play. And Wyoming is about to bail out Kent State.
2 fouls on the play. Offside, defense number 88. That penalty's declined. Pass interference, defense number 20. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Rodney Burnett is the referee from Conference USA.
So the first one was offsides, undisciplined. The second one, Hearn is essentially has a double Nelson, wrestling WWE on Cephas from behind. I don't exactly know what he thought he was doing on that play.
Crum, deep shot to the end zone to Johnson, and he can't hang on. Akeem Johnson from D.C. had a step on the corner, but could not hang on in the deep back of the end zone.
Wyoming likes to play man-to-man coverage. And this was Gandy, the defensive nickelback, really, on that play, and made a decent play on it. But Johnson had a chance at the end. That ball was dropped in the bucket, and Johnson could have come down with that one.
There was a penalty on the play, which Wyoming will accept. So it'll be 1st and 15 now. Crum hands it off again to Bradford, who bangs his way ahead for about 3 yards. Bryan, they list him at 243, so if you're going to tackle number 31, you're going to have to go low or get some help.
Yeah, and he's getting more run today because Xavier Williams isn't in this game, who was really the 1B running back this season.
Here he goes again, tiptoeing down the sideline, and Hearn pushes him out of bounds, and that will bring up a 3rd down. So another chance now for the Cowboys defense to get off the field here. It's 3rd down at about 6 or 5. They're going to call it 3rd and 5.
And Bradford does change the complexion of the run game. Makes it more physical downhill. Cooper's more of a jitterbug in the box.
Bradford gets it, pinballs his way ahead, shy of the 1st down. It will be 4th and 3, and decision time now for Kent State.
I think Sean Lewis is going to get bigger and try to put a lot of pressure right now on Wyoming with potentially going for this one, but no, they want the points. I think the way that Kent's defense has adjusted, this is a good decision. After that first drive by Wyoming, Kent State had adjusted in the front 7, is doing a better job against Wyoming's run game.
Glass hit from 36 yards earlier today. This one from 40, missed it wide right. So that's a hold for Wyoming. The score remains Kent State 17 and the Pokes 7. Well, we have 2 more bowl games for you Thursday on ESPN and the app at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. The North Texas Mean Green take on Miami, Ohio in the inaugural Frisco Football Classic. Then it's a Sunshine State matchup between UCF and Florida in the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl at a sold-out Raymond James Stadium down in Tampa. Certainly is the most wonderful time of the year. And Lauren, it's time for Wyoming to get it going, isn't it?
Yeah, and Coach Bowl used the word perplexed to describe the inability to understand the inconsistencies of this football team. He felt at times they've been good, at times they haven't been good. And you go back to the Hawaii game, he said they looked lethargic, felt they weren't in a complete meltdown mode, not ready for the game. And honestly, I don't see that out here today. I don't feel like they're lethargic. They came in with a lot of enthusiasm. They're taking this game to heart, taking it personally. They really want redemption, and I think this drive is going to be critical for them.
Well, Williams got him off to a good start on the drive with that run ahead of the 42-yard line. And Lauren's right. You feel like Wyoming needs something really good to happen here. On the ground, and Kent State's defense, which was much maligned all year long, continues to gang tackle and get people on the ground.
Well, the first thing that happened good for Wyoming is Wyoming's defense got off the field without giving up any points, holding Kent State to a field goal attempt that was missed. And so, Bill, you're right. This drive needs to kind of look more like Wyoming's first drive. Wyoming had 42 yards or 40 yards rushing on their touchdown drive to begin the game. They've had 12 yards rushing since going into this drive. So that's 3 drives with only 12 yards in the epicenter of what they want to do offensively.
2nd down and 10, and the quick flip to the right side to Cobbs. And the freshman from Texas gets knocked out of bounds by Clark.
No matter how well you run the football, if you're not Army, Navy, or Air Force, you can't be one-handed playing this game. So Wyoming has to get something out of their pass game, even if it's a quick hitch route to Cobbs outside and Levi Williams bangs it out there. That pays dividends. It loosens the defense for Kent State up, and you can get back to running it out of your 2 tight end set that we see right now.
3rd and 2 now for Wyoming. And the quarterback runs down the sidelines, Williams. And Williams will score. Just what Wyoming needed. A 50-yard run.
Levi Williams isn't exactly known for this. He's mobile enough, but there isn't a lot about quarterback design. That was a read, and you saw 33 Aiden Huntington chasing the running back. Williams bounces it outside, and Elvis Hines loses contain at the corner. That was Hines' guy to cover when the quarterback comes your way off of that read. He got outflanked, and a lot of yards later, Wyoming gets back in this one. And Bill, we talked about it. Lauren told us that this needed to be a good answer drive by Wyoming. How about Levi Williams to the house on a quarterback zone read? Great decision by that young man.
Joshua.
My name is Titus Swin.
My name is Victor Jones. Xavier Valade.
Derek Crawl here.
My name is King Crider.
I'm Logan Harris. Just wanted to wish you guys a happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
From the famous Idaho Potato Bowl.
Go Post.
Let's get it. Let's do it. Let's get it.
The touchdown run by Williams, his second of the day, has Coach Bohl feeling a little bit better. Just what the Cowboys needed. A 50-yard run by Williams. He's run for 2 scores today. Kickoff into the end zone for a touchback. Let's go to the studio to Kevin Connors.
Hey, Bill, coming up at the half, Sam Acho will join me. We'll get his thoughts on our first half, plus the latest from the transfer portal. An all-ACC performer headed to a college football playoff team. Speaking of the college football playoff, Sam will tell us what Cincinnati needs to do if they want to shock the college football world and take down Alabama. All coming up when you join us, Bill, at the half.
Looking forward to it, fellas. We've got 5:39 to go in the first half here. Kent State by 3. That fast-paced offense on the field, and here we go again. Cooper busts off the big one of 48 yards. They call it flash fast. Today it's been big plays out of this offense.
And a really good read once again by the quarterback, Dustin Crum. And Cooper, in a sense, has the easy job, just taking it right down Main Street after a good mesh, long mesh by Crum.
They've got 300 yards already today. This to the end zone is incomplete, and Crum got hit on the play. Slow in getting up.
Yeah, and Crum is not being protected very well when they're dropping back or play action pass to throw it. They had Cephas outside matched up on the man coverage, what we talked about, but when you get pummeled like that, that ball was thrown outside. It should have been thrown a little bit inside, and Crum didn't take that very well.
Crum to the air again on 2nd down. And that's complete ahead to the 22-yard line to Polk from Hampton, Georgia.
And I think that's where there's some plays to be made in the pass game for Kent State. It's inside against defenders other than Azizi Hearn and C.J. Colden, who are very comfortable playing press men outside, and we've seen that multiple times today.
Hand off to Cooper. And he's shy of the first down.
And Crum is limping. I think he's limping ever since he got hit on that play that we showed with the pressure from both sides. He's limping a little bit when he went to hand that football off on the previous play.
They're going to go for it on 4th down. They need to get to the 18. Comes Polk in motion. Collision in the backfield between the QB and Cooper, and he gets knocked down well behind the line of scrimmage. Wyoming comes up with another big stop. Isaac White finally got him.
And White didn't know which one to take, so essentially he said, you know what, I'm just going to take them both for the time being. He grabbed both Cooper and Crum, ended up with the one with the football, and That was obviously a big play. You couple the previous drive, the home run by Levi Williams for a touchdown, and couple it with getting off the field defensively, Wyoming has a chance to take over the momentum in this game.
From their own 26 with 4:04 to go in the half. This has the feeling it could be a shootout here on the blue. Valladay gets knocked down.
So, Bill, they talk about the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half being vital for the outcome of a game. So Wyoming has it set squarely on their table right now. Run the football, use up all the clock. Don't give it back to Kent State. Grind it out and try to take the lead in this game right here.
Williams passing it for just the 5th time today, and he connects with his tight end. That'll be a first down to the 40-yard line. That is Welch from Buffalo, Minnesota.
And it's like clockwork. When they run the ball with 2 tight ends, it's called 12 personnel. You have 1 running back, 2 tight ends. They run it, and then it's play action boot. Levi gets out, and guess what? Those 2 tight ends are the
player
2
downfield. Offense number 78. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Are the 2-man pass concept, and we heard the official talking about illegal man downfield. You have the boot action. The linemen try to sell it. You can go down in college football 3 yards.
Is he beyond 3 yards downfield when the ball is thrown?
I think he is, no question. I think he was about 4. That left tackle just has to be obviously aware of that.
On second down, that's bobbled and then caught nicely. Nayor has room. That's his first catch of the day, and he's ahead to the 34-yard line. They said they wanted to really target him a bunch today, and it's nearly halftime till he gets his first reception.
Long body, he's 6'3", 210, only a sophomore, but he's also the fastest player on this team. So absolutely you have to target him. And I think the anemic pass game for Wyoming is much more about the lack of dynamic playmakers than it is Levi Williams throwing the football.
3rd and short. Williams flips it nicely. That'll be enough for the first down as Christensen stays in play just shy of midfield.
So Kent State offensively wants to go fast, and that's kind of their identity calling card. Wyoming wants to run it and do this. Run the football and then manipulate the defense through play action pass. And you saw that. There was no edge whatsoever. And the tight end Christensen gets outside, and then Levi Williams essentially just has to hand it to it.
From midfield, Valladay to the boundary, and he nearly has 9 on the first down play. That's Dean Clark that ran him out of bounds.
And Wyoming has all 3 timeouts left. Plenty of time, obviously, and trust me, you don't want Dustin Crum to have any seconds left when he gets the ball back. Flash fast literally means that. It doesn't take him very long to score at times. So Coach Bohl wants his offense to be out there until they go get a drink of water at halftime.
Valladay and Swen both in the game now on 2nd and short. Williams going to take a deep shot. Nayor's got it. Touchdown.
Isaiah Nayor is the big play receiver in the pass game. See if you see any middle defender. The answer is you won't, because of the run game. Those high safeties have to continue to sneak tighter to the line of scrimmage, and then it's the post, the corner outside the post inside. And Levi Williams has been maligned in the pass game to some extent, but I think it's more about the lack of targets vertically than it is about Levi Williams' ability. We stood beside Levi in pregame, and I said, this dude has the arm talent. He has to gain the sense of anticipation. Is Isaiah Nayor's knee down before that ball penetrates the very front of that line? And I think that's going to be confirmed. I don't think any part of his body was down. I think it was on the, at first blush, it seemed to me it was on the defender. That's going to be close. I will take it from confirms to stands because I don't think there was indisputable video evidence. Bill, what's your call there?
The ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
I'm going with stands.
Yeah, that's good.
It is a Conference USA crew and replay official, and just like that, in what this high-scoring game will give us, Wyoming retakes the lead.
The only question mark is, did they leave too much time for Dustin Crum to get something more done? 1:42. Wyoming did their job. They took the lead. We'll see if Dustin Crum and Flash Fast can do something with the remaining time in this first half.
Extra point gives Wyoming a 4-point advantage with 1:42 to play. And now some pushing and shoving after the kick. Naylor puts him in the lead. Let's go back down to Lauren.
Guys, just the confidence and the to Levi Williams earlier. He has a lot of confidence in Isaiah Naylor. A tremendous athlete, huge catch radius, but more than anything, he's a guy that listens. Levi believes their chemistry and his ability to go up and make catches, and big moments like that have been the difference, but because both guys are on the same page. So, Kel, you know it's all about the chemistry. That's a big part of this game.
You know what else it's about, sis? It's about the size and length. You talk catch radius. The dude is also literally the fastest on the team. He's not just the fastest receiver or the fastest on offense. He can outrun the other side of the ball in Wyoming as well. So, yeah, you have length. You have a guy that wants to learn, and then you have that catch radius. I mean, you certainly should have chemistry with a guy like that.
He didn't have a first catch today until that possession, but his touchdown puts them into the lead. And another touchback on the kickoff. Here it is again.
Yeah, all 22 look, and it's Isaiah Naylor outside. He's going to go corner and post, and look at no defender in the middle of the field. And Hines is the defender outside with no help. That's not fair with the fastest player for Wyoming. And those middle defenders, those safeties are getting their nose down in the line of scrimmage because of the run game. And guess what's coming? Play action vertical to Isaiah Naylor for the big play.
But they gave Kent 1:42, and here comes the Flash Fast attack, starting with Nykeem Johnson.
Yeah, hold off the trip to the refrigerator until we go to halftime, because there's more to be had right here.
1:30 and 3 timeouts left for Dustin Crum and this high-powered offense. Deep shot, nobody home. Receiver, it might have been Johnson again, pulled up on the route, and it'll be second down. Stopping the clock, 1:22. Let's take a close look at Crum because, as you mentioned, Kelly, he was limping at the end of that previous possession.
Well, he looked like he stepped into that throw and put some sauce on it. And Johnson, when you have a defender over the top of you, the quarterback and receiver have to make a decision. And I think the receiver actually made the best decision. Soft coverage, snap it, come back to your quarterback. But Crum thought I was going vertical.
Crum on the move. Crum has room. Gets a block from Cephas, and there he goes. Inside the 20-yard line. Well, that time his receiver Cephas helped with a key block.
And that was a great block outside and right in front of the official, so you certainly don't want to get called for a hold on a big play. But the big play receiver Cephas does a great job of getting Dustin Crum more yards after that.
From the 16, Crum gonna run. Puts his shoulders down right into the safety, Isaac White. It will be first down.
Bill, describe to me Crum's running style. Other than twitchy, what exactly is it?
That was a Buffalo-style run against a Cowboy in the secondary.
It's kind of the rumbling, stumbling, and all of a sudden he's getting positive yards almost all the time.
First down and goal. Here is Cooper. And he got ahead for 1 yard before Victor Jones made the play.
I told you, Bill, the only thing wrong with that last drive by Wyoming was they left 1:42 on the clock. 4-minute offense is about killing the entire clock.
Timeout, Kent State.
Kent State is going to call a timeout now. It's first of the half. And with 28 seconds left, okay, they missed the field goal. They went for it on 4th down. This is a key possession. They can't leave more points on the field here. They've got to score here.
I think they have one of the best closers in college football in Crum. And it may not look real twitchy, as they say in this business, but it's lumbering, and it's all engulfed in impeccable decision making. And he's an efficient runner, even though it's a lumbering style. He's a long strider, if you will. But you know what? That man right there, Sean Lewis, loves every minute of it. He says he's our best player. He's the trendsetter. And Lauren told us earlier in this game that the big mistake that Coach Lewis made early in that first year was not naming Dustin Crum the starter. Well, trust me, he started a lot of games now and has been ultra productive for Flash Fast.
2nd down and goal. Crum fakes the toss, flips it to the right for the go-ahead touchdown. Jaysean Polk puts Kent State back in the lead.
That was a nifty little play. There was a whole lot of bells and whistles going to the left. And Jaysean Polk acted like he was going to block the right edge, and actually he was just bouncing back outside.
The 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. That's number 25's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
After scoring the touchdown, Polk gets called for the unsportsmanlike call, but the touchdown will stand. He fakes the pitch, and then just a quick little flip.
And the defense thought the play was going to your right on the screen, but Polk was hiding to the other side and just snuck out in the flat.
Andrew Glass adds the extra point. And so in this seesaw affair, it is Kent State that now retakes the lead with 24 seconds to play.
I'm not sure which coach would be happier at the outcome in that first half. It's kind of what we expected, but it's looked both ways at times.
Both quarterbacks have lived up to the hype. And one thing that both coaches, if there was a common theme to the week leading up to this, is that, you know, they were disappointed with the way their seasons ended. And this game was a chance for redemption for Kent State, the way they lost to NIU in the MAC championship game, and then the disappointing Wyoming home loss to Hawaii that ended its season. This was a chance to come back and end on a high note, so to speak.
Yeah, and that's a good point. You know, kind of a hangover both ways. The disappointment with not finishing in that MAC championship game, as you said, and then Craig Bohl doesn't exactly know what happened against Hawaii, because they had just maybe had their best, one of their best games of the year shortly before that against both Colorado State and Utah State, and they milled it in against Hawaii and got thumped.
Well, because of the penalty, remember now, they're kicking off from the 20-yard line. And Wyoming does have 3 timeouts remaining. A good kickoff return here. And they're not far from field goal range. From the 22, here is Swen. And he's knocked down at the 38.
Yeah, Dustin Crum has been, as advertised, very competent decision maker. He's a efficient mover. I've been impressed with his ability to run the ball, you know, kind of wrapped in good decisions all the time. His ball handling is almost like a sleight of hand magic trick. And then when he has to, he'll just dump it to guys that can get in the end zone. So, best player in the program for Uncle Lou so far at Kent State? I would say so.
20 seconds left. Let's see what Levi Williams and Wyoming can do. He's going to try to get out of bounds, and he does. And that'll stop the clock with 12 seconds left.
And certainly they're going to need some more yards to try to take a shot here. Hoyland, his long this year is 37, so there's some heavy lifting if they want to get in John Hoyland's range. And in pregame, neither kicker was exactly steady, if you will, in pregame warm-up.
Williams, deep shot, and it's incomplete, intended for Cobbs. No flag with 7 seconds left. Hines and Cobbs were banging with one another down the right sideline.
And the fans here wanted a pass interference, but I think the throw going out of bounds might have bailed a potential Kent State defender for being called for pass interference. That ball sailed right. Sometimes when righties throw right, the ball is spinning clockwise and it will carry out of bounds, and Levi Williams didn't give his guy a chance on that play.
Williams on third down. Here comes the rush again. Kent State's defense continues to get it done. That was Huntington that finally forced Williams out on the sack.
Aiden Huntington has done a really nice job with this. There's a game up front, a DT stunt, so the outside defender comes inside, and then the defensive tackle goes outside. And Huntington was inside initially and then banged it outside and found Levi Williams out there waiting for it.
Coach is talking with Rodney Burnett, the Conference USA referee.
Kent State has called their second timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
Kent State that calls the timeout with 1 second left.
I guess this is in the name of you never know what could happen. You can't stick him in your pocket and take him in at halftime, so I guess Sean Lewis wants to play through the end of this one. And obviously you have to get a snap if you're Wyoming.
Well, it's fourth down and there's 1 second left.
Well, you kneel on it.
So you take a knee here.
Absolutely. But you have to get a snap. At least Sean Lewis is forcing Wyoming to execute what should be the most basic part of this game, the center quarterback exchange.
And they do hand it off on the final play of the first half to Valladay.
That's absurd even to hand it off, in my opinion.
Yeah, but have given the defense a chance to create maybe a fumble and a scoop and score. He could have just thrown the ball in the stands, but nonetheless, a really entertaining first half. Kent State put up 377 yards and leads here at halftime 24-21 in the first meeting between the two teams. This has the feel of a thriller that's going to come down to the fourth quarter, doesn't it?
Definitely could be that. You're exactly right, Bill. The flash fast went fast at times. The run game, violent, physical from Laramie, got downhill at times, and Levi Williams had a couple of nice plays. So yeah, I think it's somewhat what we expected.
I was impressed with the way Kent State responded, because early it looked like Bohl's team was going to run away with it. In fact, Craig Bohl, head coach of the Pokes, is with Lauren.
Coach, after a touchdown early, you guys stalled a bit on offense, but got a spark there from your quarterback, your wide receiver, Nayor. What was that spark? What do you attribute that to that you can carry into the second half?
Well, we certainly need to, because we're in a track meet. Kent State's an outstanding offense. You know, we've got some weapons. Isaiah's a big downfield guy. I think we need to establish some momentum and stay on the field and not get ourselves in long yard situations.
Thanks so much, Coach.
At halftime, Maction on the blue, Kent State by 3. Kevin Connors coming up next in the studio. Welcome back to the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Mania. We are at halftime here at Albertson Stadium. Hey, I told you before the game, we're going to have a lot of fun today, aren't we?
Yeah, and that first half absolutely was fun. We're going to have to strap it on in the second half, because I think we're going to get more of the same. Wyoming ran the ball well at times. Flash fast was fast at times. It's going to be entertaining for sure.
All right, let's take a look at the quarterbacks, because both of them lived up to their pregame billing, right? The player of the year and the young man did it exactly the way we thought he would.
Yeah, Dustin Crum was in charge of flash fast in that first half, what they call the offense at Kent State. Good decision making both in the run game and the pass game, but Levi Williams was the question mark. Quarterback play for Wyoming this year has been suspect at times, but Levi Williams had a tremendous first half, running the football as we saw there, and then throwing the football to Isaiah Neyor on this long touchdown pass. There was a drought in the middle of about 3. First half stats now brought to you by PlayStation. And you see right there, both quarterbacks played well. The run game is going to be vital, obviously, in the second half for Wyoming. And how fast does Dustin Crum go, or does it the slow down tempo for Wyoming that wins out?
Wyoming will get the ball to begin the third quarter. And this will be Swen. He nearly broke one in the first half. And he gets shoved out near the 26 to start the second half. And there is no flag on the play. So Wyoming will start with the football, trailing 3.
Well, is it redundant to say this drive is important for Wyoming? I think every drive is important for Wyoming because of, we saw the speed in which Kent State can score, and Craig Bohl talked to Lauren about that on the sideline at halftime, is they're going to have to strap it on in this second half for sure.
On the ground to begin the third quarter, and that is Valladay. And he gets ahead to the 33-yard line.
So it's somewhat business as usual for Wyoming. They started really well with their opening drive. It was methodical, play action kind of boots in the pass game by Levi Williams. And then it was that drought of 3 drives in a row where they couldn't run the ball at all. Then all of a sudden they got their pass game going again. Their run game certainly is there to be had. So we'll see how this half goes for the Wyoming Cowboys.
Williams flushed out of the pocket. And he gets ahead shy of the first down to the 35-yard line. Jabbar Price with the tackle for Kent State.
Well, the interim defensive coordinator for Kent State, C.J. Cox, said it's imperative that we play really well on first and second down and force Levi Williams into a pass down on third down. And so right now, Wyoming's kind of in their wheelhouse at third and a little less than 2 yards.
They've got Valladay now split out as a receiver. Swen is in the backfield on third and short. Now both backs return. And that's Valladay. Does he have the first down? Yes.
And that's a personnel grouping, Bill, that Wyoming will go into at times. They have Swen and Valladay in at the same time. A lot of kind of pre-snap formationing, and in the end it's a 2-back run game presentation that is a completely different animal to defense than when it's just a single back there.
We've seen 2, we've seen 3 tight end sets in this game today for this rugged Cowboys team. On the ground again, but a loss of a yard. Hey, coming up at 7:30 Eastern right here on ESPN, the 12-1 University of Texas at San Antonio Roadrunners take on number 24 San Diego State in the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl. That's coming up tonight.
Combined 23-3 with those two teams. The CFP games are the only games out there that have better record than those two teams in that bowl game.
On second down on the end around, there goes Neyor. That's the second time they've tried to hand it to him today. He got about 6.
We saw Isaiah Neyor's big playability in that first half, and Lauren told us that it was, it's that catch radius. It's that vertical speed is the fastest player on the team. So why would you not fly sweep him a little bit and hand him the football? It's a really good supplement to what Wyoming already does in their run game downhill.
Cowboys trying to convert their second third down on this possession. 3rd and 4. Williams to the air. Nice pass. First down and more. Neyor chopped down near the 36. That was Holmes that chopped him down. Neyor started left. He came all the way across to make that play.
It's the air raid offense. It's the mesh route, the crossing receivers in the middle of the field where the actual pass concept gets its name, that mesh point, and the goal is to rub off the coverage that Neyor has on him and free him up when he comes out the other side. And that's exactly what happened.
3 tight ends again for Craig Bohl's team. Nice cutback by Valladay. There's a little Nebraska DNA in what they do, isn't there?
No question. Remember that's where Craig Bohl coached at one time, an assistant for Tom Osborne, and then he kind of moves north a little bit at North Dakota State, doing the same kind of things, getting those corn-fed boys up front and being physical, and your calling card is that physical run game, and Valladay executes that extremely well. It's a little different look. They go shotgun most of the time, but the goal is still the same.
2nd down and 1. First down and more. There goes Williams again. Touchdown. His 3rd of the day.
This is a nifty little play. Watch where Valladay ends up, kicking out the end defender so that Levi Williams can step up inside. That was well designed. And how about the run game that Wyoming is getting out of their quarterback position today?
Hoyland in to attempt the extra point, which is good.
Hey, partner, you better rest during the timeout because I think we're just beginning to get going here in the second half.
Well, the annual NBA on Christmas Day tradition continues with 5 of the best gifts anyone could ask for. Our star-studded schedule starts at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific on ESPN with Hawks Knicks. Then over on ABC, it's Celtics Bucks and Warriors Suns. Nets Lakers is on ABC and ESPN. With the day capped off by the Mavs and Jazz at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. Whoa, what a Christmas Day NBA lineup. Here's the kick back to Kent State as the track meet continues in Boise. Here is Polk, and he gets poked down near the 21. Let's go down to Lauren Sisler.
Yeah, guys, I talked to Coach Lewis coming out of the locker room, and he said he feels like his guys are doing a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage. They just need to do a better job at edge pressures if they want to stay on schedule. He says they're also running the ball very effectively, want to continue doing that. Now, I did ask them about his quarterback, Dustin Crum, and the right leg. He's gimping around just a little bit, but Coach said nothing to worry about. He plays at his best when he's hurting a little bit.
Well, he's 6'3", 207, and he's gotten banged around a little bit. They put up over 370 yards in the first half. I mean, they're on pace for 700 yards. They got about 3 to start the second half, and that put Cooper, that run did over 100 yards for the day.
Hey, Sis, what does that beard on Sean Lewis look like up close? Is it as good as it looks on camera?
From deep shot, Cephas in a crowd. It's incomplete. Good breakup by Azizi Hearn. Speaking of beards, here's Sean's. We've seen his. Great coaches have had winning facial hair. Of course, Coach Beard with AFC Richmond. And in the truck today, here's our winner. Well, we'll get to that in a minute.
Hey, we need to see Tim in the truck.
The best beard in Boise.
Tim, absolutely, hands down the best beard in the building.
Over the middle, and that's ruled a catch out to the 35-yard line. Nykeem Johnson. There is Tim. Tim's our audio guy in the truck.
Loving the beard. You know, Coach Lewis said, let it flow, let it go. And that's the Beard Game's mantra. The beard looks great. He says, you know, there's all sorts of product you can put in the beard to make the beard look good. I would say he definitely has one of the best out here. He did say some of the guys got good beards. Some of them, on the other hand, a little suspect. I've seen a couple of suspect ones out here, I'm not going to lie. I was hoping Kel was going to show up with a beard today, not going to lie.
Here comes Cooper again into Wyoming territory, down to the 47-yard line.
I will get on that beard work. But I would be self-conscious about things getting caught in that stuff. You know, like when you eat and or some small animal trying to find a safe haven. I don't know that I could take that.
Quick slant, and Johnson tried to one-arm it, incomplete. Yeah, they made a pack. There's about 30 guys on the Kent State program, coaches, players, that said we're not going to shave till the season is over. Well, this is the net result. Now, Coach Lewis did say as soon as they get back to Ohio, his wife will be waiting with the razor for the ceremonial post-season shave. Second down for Crum. It's not mandatory. It's not like in the NHL, you know, where they don't shave for the playoffs and everybody looks grizzly by the time they raise the Stanley Cup. Cooper on the ground, muscles his way ahead for a yard, and that's Rome Weber. Puts him in a bear hug and pushed him back.
Well, Coach Bohl talked to Sis at the half and talked about they need to be better up front defensively. They have to get off their blocks, and you're seeing it a little better on this drive. You saw it on that last play. Better fits defensively against this Kent State flash-fast offense.
We had some motion up front. It's going to make it from 3rd and 8 to 3rd and 13.
Offense number 73, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Zach Whaley is the right tackle.
And this is exactly how you hope you can defend Kent State, is get them behind the sticks where you know that they most likely are going to throw the football. And in this situation today, Dustin Crum has been under pressure from this defense from Wyoming.
They go empty again. Crum, the only man in the backfield. And he's brought down shy of the 50-yard line by Krall. The heart and soul of that defensive line, Garrett Krall, from walk-on to star.
Yeah, from small town Ohio as a quarterback in high school. Always recruit the quarterbacks in high school. And then Garrett Krall reacts up on the quarterback. That's something that Wyoming defensively did not do well on Crum. When he got flushed out of the pocket, sometimes that next defender was not there, but Krall would have none of it. I love that walk-on to captain story in Laramie with Wyoming football.
Punt coming to the near sideline. And it'll be down near the 22. Wyoming with the lead here in the 3rd in Boise. Seesaw game in Boise. Wyoming at the moment leading 28-24. Midway through the 3rd quarter. Let's check out our performance update prepared by Tax Act. Xavier Valladay has rushed for 3,256 yards. What a career as he plays his final game in a Wyoming uniform today.
Yeah, and he has been the workload carrier his entire career there. And he really kind of is that centerpiece for what Craig Bohl likes to do offensively. It's essential to have a guy that can carry it, but also a guy that can stay healthy, even though he has a lot of treads, a lot of wear and tear on the treads on that tire at this point in time.
The I formation. This is Swen giving ground. That might have been a bad move. There's a late flag as well.
It's going to be a face mask on Kent State, and that's a shame because Kent State defended that inside A-gap power play really well. I thought
personal foul, face mask, defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic 1st down.
Kelly, explain what you're talking about when you talk about the play that they just tried to run.
Well, there are pulling offensive linemen that are going to kind of bore out the A-gap, which is inside. You saw the face mask was rather quick. Titus Sween made an inadvertent bounce outside. When there's a power play that's meant to go in the A-gap, you can't be quick to bounce it as the running back, as Swin did that time. That's why it was so well defended by Kent State.
Again, out of the I formation. It is old school, isn't it? Here goes Swen again. And he's brought down behind the line. Pierre and Sherald with the play.
This could be targeting on number 5, Terrell Sherrard coming from the secondary, and because this isn't a defenseless player, a ball carrier carrying the football is not that. It had to be leading with the crown of the helmet by 5 coming in right there, and it absolutely might be by KJ Sherrard.
One more look.
So it's
Personal foul, targeting, defense. That play is under review.
So there are 2 varieties, and one of them has to do with targeting on a defenseless player. And a running back carrying the football is not defenseless, but Sherrard number 5 comes in, and it's targeting because you lead with the crown of the helmet with forcible contact. There has to be somewhat of an indicator, which is, in this case, simply lowering your helmet. And that's really to protect the hitter more than the hitee. And I think that's going to be the end of the day
After review,
for Sherrard.
it was personal foul, targeting, defense number 5. 15-yard penalty will be assessed. Number 5 is disqualified.
And for KJ Sherrard, the young man from Maryland, that is a tough way for your collegiate career to conclude. He's a graduate student, and this is his final play.
Yeah, Ian, absolutely the right call, albeit incredibly unfortunate to end your career that way. But that one's for the safety of the defender coming up and getting his hat in the wrong position. So it was exactly the right call by the officials on the field, and unfortunate for that young man right there.
And I don't think by any stretch of the imagination was it malicious. It wasn't necessarily a dirty play.
No.
But those are the rules.
Yeah, and officials can't interpret the intent of the defender. And so it's just a matter of whether those things, the indicator and the forcible contact are there, and all of that was present. And so that's the end of the day for that young man.
So a targeting call following a face mask penalty has put in the Pokes in good field position. There's a gain of about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Well, bowl season rolls on next Thursday night, December 30th, with Biletnikoff winner Jordan Addison leading number 13 Pitt against number 11 Michigan State. QB Peyton Thorne in the 53rd annual Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Our coverage begins at 7 Eastern on ESPN and the app. One app, one tap. The ACC champion Pittsburgh Panthers.
And you talk about a physical couple of teams, there's going to be some paint peeled off of helmets in that Peach Bowl. There's no question about it.
Calling that the Narduzzi Bowl?
Yes, that's exactly right. And the running back, Xavier Valladay, is limping off after that touch. And it's amazing the wear and tear that young man has on his body. He has rarely missed any time.
But they're fortunate to have Titus Swen, who can come in even though it's a key play in the game. You don't necessarily lose a lot here because Swen's been a good short yardage back. And actually, they bring in Trey Smith. This is his first action of the day, his first touch, and fresh legs for the young man. And he has the first down to the 30-yard line.
I might think of giving Trey Smith a few more touches if it's going to work like this. You see the G lead, the guard stepping around the tackle and blocking up inside, and Smith does well with it.
Ahead to the 22. Smith's daddy played in the NFL with Jacksonville. He started at Louisville. Now in Wyoming.
And you know what Wyoming does a lot in their run game is they will flip it and run it again, and that was what they did right there. The G lead where the guard steps around the center and leads the running back up in that tight A gap again, and it works. So you flip it and you run it to the opposite side, and guess what? It worked again.
Now Swen is in the game at 2nd down. To the air, the pump fake. And now Williams gets out of there and going to run for it. And he dives for the first down inside the Kent State 20-yard line. Right at the feet of Miller.
Fantastic decision-making by Levi Williams. You're right. It was a double move outside. But as a quarterback, when you have that exotic shot play called, you can't just think all or nothing. if it's not there, make a good decision, and Williams does that, and he gets the yard to gain and moves the chains.
Under 4 minutes to go in the third. They quickly get it on the outside. That is Nayor, and he's near the 11-yard line.
We talked about Levi Williams. Watch here, the pump fake, because there's a double move outside. He doesn't like it. It was the sluggo, slant and go by the outside receiver. Reverse field, move the chains.
That's Williams, who's been an effective runner in this game, plowing down to the 7. It will be first down and goal. He's 224 pounds.
This is an important time for Kent State defensively.
There he goes again on first and goal.
Those body blows of Wyoming's physical run game in the first half start to pay dividends in the second half, and Craig Bohl's programs have been known for this. North Dakota State, we will see this in the FCS title game against Montana State, this same approach offensively, and Wyoming would be very happy, Bill, to finish this drive out in the end zone by a handful of rugby scrums to finish it.
Valladay is the tailback, again out of the eye. Valladay puts his shoulders down and scores. Touchdown, Wyoming.
Tenuous time for Kent State in this game. The defense for Kent State is getting worn down. They're tired of it being hit in the rib cage by this physical Wyoming Cowboy run game. And the offense, the flash fast, if you go fast, it's one thing. But if you go quickly off the field with the defense that's gas, this thing could go to Laramie in a heartbeat.
Hoyland adds the extra point.
I love a run game that pays dividends all throughout. Wyoming is getting lathered up here in the second half in Boise.
Now let's take a look at the Bowl Challenge Cup standings, brought to you by Progressive. The Mountain West sits atop our Bowl Challenge Cup standings, and Wyoming in the second half with 2 quick touchdowns hopes to make it 3-0 for the Mountain West.
But that SEC down at the bottom, they have a couple of fairly significant games that they would like to win to move up that chart a little bit. I love it.
Hoyland to kick it back to Kent State.
See Levi Williams going and talking to Isaiah Nayor. That chemistry abounds.
From the end zone, here is Polk. Stays on his feet. Oh, he's got some room on the left if he can get to the near side. There's a flag that's going to bring this back, and Polk gets knocked down near the 31. Boy, penalties are hurting them in the second half. We had the face mask penalty, we had the targeting penalty, and now that was on defense, and now another penalty, likely a hold here.
Return, holding, receiving team number 80. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, first down.
Remember that tenuous time in the game? It just got amplified greatly because of this backed up situation on the holding on the kickoff return. Dustin Crum goes out there, and his flash fast approach offensively, if you go fast 3 and out right now, that Wyoming run game is going to come back out and start throwing blows against Kent State's defense once again.
Let's see how the Golden Flashes respond. Here's a deep shot on first down to Cephas, trying to one-arm it, incomplete.
I think it's a bad time for that play. You play action pass inside, and we have a flag on that play as well. But if you don't hit the home run.
Ineligible player downfield, offense number 54. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Boy, are the penalties hurting Kent State here in this second half.
I might have declined that penalty. Go second and long with the team that wants to play fast. You're behind the sticks because of taking the shot early. And I don't think this was a run-pass option either. I don't think it was a decision by the quarterback, Crum, to run or throw.
Crum gets out of the end zone, back to the 2-yard line, and sacked again as the momentum clearly on Wyoming's side now. It's another sack, and that is Isaac White getting his first of the day.
I think that was questionable play calling. You take the shot on first down, and then you play action or you run pass option, which the quarterback makes the right decision, but you can't protect him right now if Wyoming has an inkling that you're going to throw the football.
Wyoming has 4 sacks on the day. Bradford on the run gets out to near the 3. And it'll bring up a 3rd down play. That was Victor Jones, who's been really active today for Wyoming on the play defensively.
And you see Kent State wanting to take a little more methodical approach because, trust me, Sean Lewis knows the condition of his defense currently, but when a fast team tries to slow it down, it looks a little obtuse, and that's kind of what you're seeing right now.
Third and long for Crum. Kent State has been befuddled by Wyoming, and another penalty. They took too long.
They're hoping they got the timeout before the penalty.
Timeout.
They did.
Kent State, their first 30-second timeout.
Boy, they wanted to go all yellow today, did Kent State, but the yellow hankies have hurt them here in the 3rd. Well, fans, join us virtually for the College Football Playoff All Access experience featuring exclusive content, games, and daily prize drops. Register today at ESPN.com/CFP All Access.
So, Bill, we talked about the kind of the tenuous time in this game for Kent State, and this drive so far couldn't have been worse. And now 3rd and forever, and Dustin Crum will take the snap in his own end zone against the Wyoming defense that's gotten pressure when they know it's a pass. You wonder if it's going to be something simple like a draw to Brian Bradford right here, but a very important time in this game.
They got to get to the 22, and they do on the draw play. Give it to Bradford, breaks a tackle. He's got the first down ahead of the 25-yard line. What a run there. Isaac White finally made the play on big Brian Bradford. Quick throw, and the catch, and a slight gain on the play. A gain of about 3 yards on first down to Johnson.
You have to mark that play as an incredibly important one in this game. Wyoming gave a gift to Bradford right down Main Street on that 3rd and forever.
Crum swings it near side. This is Jayshawn Polk, incomplete.
You know, going back to that 3rd and long play, Bill, that's kind of backed up offensive coordinating 101. It's draw or screen, and Kent State's not a big screen team, so it's going to be a draw to their only running back, and Wyoming defended it incredibly poorly.
Third down on the 30 with 23 seconds left in the 3rd. They run it again, and Bradford, same result. He's got the first down across the 40-yard line.
And it's going to be 15 more on an unsportsmanlike late hit on the quarterback. Crum gave it up to Bradford, and the defender decided to whack him anyway.
Foul. Unnecessary roughness, defense, number 44. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Victor Jones, the defensive end, got there. The mesh point, he doesn't know who has the ball initially, but you got to let it go. And I question that. When you run a quarterback read system, and that defender, in this case Victor Jones, doesn't really know who has the ball at that time, he has the quarterback in the moment. And it wasn't really anything absurd, I question that penalty, to be perfectly honest.
On the ground, this is Cooper, and he gets ahead for about 7 yards.
Back to that penalty, Bill, it was actually probably Victor Jones going up high on Dustin Crum is probably what the official didn't like.
Well, we are heading towards a heck of a fourth quarter here. Who's going to be our MVP here today? Over the years, there have been some great MVPs of this game, like Zach Wilson in 2018, Josh Allen the year before. Great performances here. Matt Ryan in 05. Who's going to win it this year? Stay with us. Welcome back to the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Mania, Boise, Idaho. We are on track for a thrilling finish, it appears. Fourth quarter begins. Kent State on the move after Wyoming really dominated the third quarter.
Down.
Fourth quarter begins with a penalty.
The right guard, Nathan Monin, jumps just a bit early and backs Kent State up.
Remember, the Golden Flashes, they were inside their own 2-yard line earlier on this drive. Wide open on the left side. That's Abram. And they're down to the 20.
And once again, poor coverage on the back end for Wyoming. Just sinking too deep outside and leaving the receiver all alone inexplicably.
Snap was high. Crum hands it off. There goes Johnson on the end around, and he's out of bounds near the 13-yard line.
Yeah, Bill, you talked about it. This drive was dead in the water at 3rd and 18 from just inside the 3-yard line. And a simple play, a draw play to Bradford, gained him 23, and look where we are now. Kent State fixing to get back in this one.
From the 13-yard line. Long mesh point there, and Wyoming blows it up as Godbout came in to make the play.
You need to play defensively. If it's not Chad Muma, it's going to be Godbout from his defensive tackle position. He came into this game 4th among defensive linemen in tackles in the country. And this is why. You see him jump inside, push the offensive lineman aside, blows up the mesh point.
He has 8 tackles today. 3rd down now. Crum, fake left, now runs with the football. That's actually Schlee, Colin Schlee. And he gets down to near the 12-yard line.
And that was that crab package again. Both quarterbacks, Dustin Crum this time split out wide left. Schlee, who is kind of a wildcat guy in this offense and will take over when Dustin Crum is gone. And it was going to be somewhat of a jump pass to Dante Cephas. Look outside left, press into the line of scrimmage and jump pass to 14, but he was covered really well.
Glass to try to make it a 1-score game. He's 1 for 2 today. This one off the upright.
You know why offensive play callers would rather go for it in a lot of these situations? Because of plays just like that. And Craig Bohl doesn't care why they don't give up points. You celebrate every time your defense keeps the opponent off the board.
Well, it all comes down to this. College football playoff semifinals, Friday, December 31st on ESPN and the ESPN app. Heisman winner Bryce Young and number 1 Alabama, number 4 Cincinnati, the opponent in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. Then number 2 Michigan, number 3 Georgia in the Capital One Orange Bowl. The winners will play for the national championship Monday, January 10th. Here's Wyoming's Levi Williams. Look at this. Down the sideline. Williams takes it the distance. 80-yard touchdown. It is his 4th of the day.
Did we just see a appearance of the potential MVP. Quarterback read outside, defensive end comes down inside. Christensen does a great job of not blocking him, but continuing outside. Becomes a lead blocker eventually for Levi Williams. And I didn't know that young man had that kind of straight line speed.
Career high 178 yards rushing now for Levi Williams.
Remember the body blows of the Wyoming run game in the first half? And now it's absolute haymakers by Levi Williams. 80 yards later, the MVP might have just shown up.
Tell me how you feel. I'm too good for my own good. I won't leak the album, I let it spill. #1.
The Famous Idaho Potato Bowl is brought to you by Famous Idaho Potatoes. Always look for the Grown in Idaho seal.
Oh, Levi Williams running into the record books. 178 yards today, 4 touchdowns for him. That ties the bowl game record. And he's not done yet. We got a lot of football left to go here today. Look at that smile.
Yeah, no kidding. He might be joining a pretty good list of MVPs in this game, but those numbers didn't exist most of this season from the quarterback run game. And it's been the read game too. These aren't by design in terms of him absolutely keeping it. He's reading things and keeping it and making great decisions.
Kickoff by Hoyland back to Kent State, and this is Polk. Good speed, and he gets near the 30 and puts the ball on the field. He was down, the officials say. The ground caused the fumble.
Jayshon Polk is also down, looking like he was injured, and the question is going to be whether Polk was down before the ball came out. Yeah, knees down. This is going to be in the possession of the Kent State offense, and an offense that Bill needs to make something happen like right now.
Well, Kent State has not scored in the second half after leading at intermission. Here's Crum taking a deep shot for Johnson. And he's got it on the 21-yard line. And the Kent State team is back in business in the red zone.
Keontae Clinton was in on that coverage. There was one place the ball could get to Johnson, and Crum dropped it right in his pocket. That was outstanding.
We have an injured Kent State player, and it is Johnson who caught the ball.
Yeah, Johnson went vertical. It was literally a prototypical go route. Some people call it a 9 route. And the question is, kind of at the end, he landed somewhat awkwardly as he tried to stay on his feet and didn't look good.
Here is Polk on the sweep, spins at the 20 and then gets pushed back after reaching the 18-yard line. Curiously, the pain set in after he got back to the line of scrimmage. He was so focused on running the next play. You can see he's having a hard time putting any weight on his foot.
And that's definitely lower body, and so it isn't really cramping type of weather today. We'll see if we see Johnson again.
This is a fake. Nice move, and Crum has him first and goal on the 6.
You know, Bill, that delayed mesh where Crum rides it way up into the line of scrimmage and takes his time, the bottom line is the eyes of the defense can't decide or make a decision on who has the football. Wake Forest is known for that very thing. They ride it up into the line of scrimmage, makes it really hard on the defenders.
Crum flips into the end zone, wide open, touchdown. That is exactly what Kent State needed. They raced down the field and the quick touchdown makes it 42-30.
This is a matter of Wyoming's defense just not having their eyes in the right place. You have a big body lineman that's eligible on the end man on the line of scrimmage, and he gets loose.
Hayden Junker with the reception, and it's a 42-31 game.
This really feels somewhat like a prize fight, and you gotta trade body blows and stay standing long enough to throw to touchdowns like that and get back in this with a flash fast.
Junker's touchdown brings Kent State to within 11, 42-31. A lot of football left to play. 11-13 to go, particularly the way Kent State can score quickly and flash fast, as they say in Kent, Ohio. Here is the kick. Short again from the 25-yard line. And Wyoming will start near the 30. Well, 4 years ago on this field of the 2017 famous Idaho Potato Bowl was a memorable day for Wyoming. This quarterback look familiar to you?
Josh Allen's pretty good. Buffalo Bills know him well now.
That they do.
How about the cannon that dude has?
Wyoming beat Central Michigan on that day. That was their lone win on this field. You know, Wyoming fans know this all too well. They've had a hard time against Boise State on this field, but they have won here on the blue. Another big run on first down. There's Swen. Still going. Oh, Swen will not go down. That right there shows you the leg strength and the drives and the leg presses that guy has put in over the years.
And Swen has been a welcome addition to that run game. Valladay is the workhorse the last couple of years, and then Swen comes in and does things like this to give Valladay a little bit of a respite and is productive in the midst of it.
Well, we mentioned that Wyoming was rugged. Here's Valladay, and he powers his way for about 8. Let's go down to Lauren.
Xavier Valladay on the run.
Yeah, guys, quick injury update down here on the sidelines. Kent State getting banged up a bit. Deshaun Pope limped off the field, fell to his knees just a bit ago, was helped over to the injury tent. He is still in there being evaluated. And then Nykeem Johnson also helped off the field. He's been struggling to put pressure on that right leg. He's been walking around here on the sidelines to try to work it out.
Levi Johnson, 14 more yards on the ground, and Wyoming has driven down to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, the quarterback sneak, and then the craftiness of Levi Williams to keep his head up and bounce it out to the right and almost turn a sneak into an explosive play.
On the reverse, this is Naor. Can he turn the corner? Yep. And he gets about 8 yards before he's banged out of bounds by Dean Clark. Williams actually helped his receiver with a block, didn't he?
We know that Kent State can score. As you see Levi Williams actually peeling back. He had to read the defender and actually stop and come back and seal the edge. But Kent State's offense is up to the task. My question is whether the Kent State defensive squad can do anything right now against this downhill run game for Wyoming.
Swen wants the ball. He says, give it to me. Plows his way ahead for about 1.5 yards on that play.
Wyoming is just so tough, and they have been under Craig Bohl, whether it's at North Dakota State or in Laramie, and kind of methodically driving it. Being successful on first and second down means you're really good on third down because you're in third and short like they are once again on this drive.
3rd and short. Swen cuts back, and he dives right near the first down marker. They're going to spot it short.
And ultimately, that was a decent decision by Swen. But the point of attack was to the right. It was a muddy look. But what you don't want to do on 3rd and 1 is try to bounce it and lose ground. And the question now is, right there with that dive, did Swen end up with a first down? I'm not sure this was a great spot, to be perfectly honest with you. And that is, line to gain is reviewable, and I think that's what the replay booth is fixing to do right now.
They rolled him short. In fact, the kicker came onto the field for Wyoming on 4th down and about a foot. But they are going to take a look at this here midway through the 4th quarter.
I think the extra effort and to go airborne right at the end from our vantage point, and it's almost straight down in front of us from where we are in the booth. I thought he got there, quite frankly. But again, the standard applies, indisputable video evidence. And these things are so hard to overturn because of all of the big bodies in there. Bill, do you want to call it this time before the official actually announces it?
Well, they ruled him short. I think he got to the he got to the R in Albertsons. I think he needed to get to the E.
That's funny. Well, even the R, did he get to the stem of the R or the bend of the R at the top? That's the question. And the field goal team is still out there for Wyoming, so they must have gotten the news that they came up just a little bit short.
This will be a 44-yard field goal attempt. This will be the longest of the year for Hoyland. His previous high was 37. In fact, he's 0 of 2 this year from this distance. Did he get that one? Yep. Longest kick of the year for Hoyland. And it puts Wyoming up by 14 with 7:29 to play. Kent State gets the ball when we come back.
Famous Idaho Potato Bowl, and we see the MVPs of the past. Zach Wilson, pretty darn good. Josh Allen, he can sling it. Buffalo loves that guy. And then Matt Ryan's been doing it like forever. That's a pretty great group to join. It might be this guy right here in Levi Williams. But Dustin Crum isn't without say in the last few minutes, 7:29 of this game.
Yeah, Dustin Crum's going to say, Kelly, hold my French fry bucket.
Hold this, please. My crinkled French fry bucket, and I have something to do down the stretch. So I think it might be one of those two quarterbacks. It's just a matter of which one.
Well, a good kickoff return could help jumpstart Kent State. Let's see if they can get one here. Poke, or rather a Cooper it is on the return to the 28-yard line.
And so on this drive, Bill, Wyoming's defense has to be something more than just a speed bump. They have to keep the ball in front of them, no explosive plays. The minimum objective is to run about half of this clock off, even if Kent State ends up getting points of some kind.
First down and a big defensive play. Wyoming's defense, led by that big defensive tackle, Burton Goal, makes the play. Well, be sure to join us following the game by tuning into the ESPN app for the Capital One postgame. That'll be immediately following the game. That was Jordan Bertinoli with a key play. And another big stick. That was Chad Muma delivering the contact. That is the 13th tackle of the game for Muma.
We said he was pretty good.
He now leads all FBS tacklers with 142 on the season.
That number is absurd, quite frankly.
3rd down and 11. Crum lets it go. At the sticks, Cephas has the first down. Let's go down to Lauren.
Hey guys, I want to talk about Chad Muma. He's got an incredible story. At the age of 13, diagnosed with diabetes, and to some kids that might be a stopping point, but not for Chad. He was determined to continue playing football, and we'll watch this play unfold here for just a moment.
Dustin Crum on the run.
And so Chad Muma certainly battling the diabetes, having to go through that, but it's something that he's managed, and he'll come on and off the field, check his insulin throughout the game if he needs more insulin, but he said his adrenaline usually is through the roof, and so this is something that he manages well, keeps in check, and this is a guy that, as the coaches said, is going to be getting a pretty big paycheck when all is said and done.
Oh, there's no question about that. 3rd down coming up for Kent State. Cooper spins his way, and he's got the first down ahead of the 45-yard line.
Well, we know that Kent State is like born and raised to run the 2-minute offense. They go fast all the time, so the rhythm of this game right now is right in their wheelhouse.
First down, and this time Crum just throws it away.
Goodboe, I believe, is the defender for Wyoming that's down, that was in on that pressure, and he seems to be holding his left knee. He's a built-in pressure guy, whether it's tackles or pressure on the quarterback. This would be an enormous loss at this point in time of the game. 2 defenders get there at the same time, Garrett Kroll and Goodboe, and Goodboe doesn't get off the turf.
Goodboe's had a tremendous day today, Kelly. He has 9 tackles, including a tackle for loss, which was a sack, and he also has been credited for quarterback pressure. So that's a good day's work.
Yeah, Bill, he had 60 tackles from a defensive tackle position coming into this game. That's 4th in the country at that position. I'm assuming someone like a Jordan Davis at Georgia might be in that mix as well, but to be an active tackler / pressure guy inside is an enormous plus for any defense. And that left knee already has a brace on it. You hope that young man can come back and finish this one out.
Jordan was an honorable mention Mountain West Conference performer this year from Wisconsin.
What in the world was that guy honorable mention? There must be some fantastic defensive tackles in this conference.
And that's a tough break for Wyoming and Coach Bohl. You know, as well as their defenses played today, it's just that Kent State runs so many plays. I mean, it's almost mind-boggling. Wyoming has allowed 577 yards today, yet they've made a lot of good plays defensively. They've had some wins on the defensive side of the ball. It just shows how good and explosive Crum and that team can be.
And that's the frustrating part. You can frustrate the flash fast offense, and then all of a sudden they're standing in the end zone, and you wonder what happened.
2nd down as we approach the final 5 minutes of regulation time. Crum from the 50. Crum rolling right, and Crum going to run, and he's out of bounds. We'll stop the clock at about the 38.
I'm telling you, Dustin Crum is a sneaky runner. We talked about somewhat tongue-in-cheek him kind of lumbering, but he also knows how to set up his blocks.
3rd down. It's 4-down territory, of course, for sure. Cooper going to get thrown down for no gain. Good job by Meyer, riding his back to bring him down, but they're going to have to go for this now. 4th down, 4:38 and counting.
Yeah, an alert quarterback run with Dustin Crum. especially if they motion empty late and Cooper goes one direction or the other. Crum might be the ball carrier. This is one of the only times they slow down. They look at the sideline trying to get exactly the right play called.
Crum going to put it in the air. And a deep shot for Polk. Incomplete and no flag.
Glidden was in on the coverage. This ball was underthrown to Pope. It looked like Clinton could have potentially been called. That left arm is the right arm is around the receiver, impedes his ability to get back to the ball, but probably a good no call in that situation.
And now Wyoming, with 4:03 to play, will take over. And now, you know, they'd love to run the clock if possible. First down. Quarterback keeps, and there goes Williams again. And he slides down to about the 48-yard line. Again, be sure to join us on the ESPN app for the Capital One postgame. That'll be immediately following the game. Quickly, they get to the line, and a flag is thrown as Williams surges to the 50.
And I think that quick snap got Kent State caught with too many men on the field once again. We saw it happen in the first half. It's a good use of that quick count.
Illegal substitution. Defense, 12 players on the field at the snap. The 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Oh, yeah, baby. Right here.
So that will be a first down.
And this is where you see the kind of the attrition defensively when Wyoming has been leaning on you throughout this game. That was just literally a rugby scrum on the play before, and it wasn't like they had inches to go to get the first down. They had like 3.5 yards and just pushed that pile.
Boy, the penalties over 11 of them now for Kent State. Levi Williams, who's rushed for 204 yards today, hands it off, and there's another huge hole. Here goes Trey Smith, and Trey Smith will score.
Trey Smith with the 49-yard run.
Well, Trey Smith had 9 carries coming into today. I believe this is his third, and the third one's the closer, I think, in this game for sure. And he's one of those graduate players for Wyoming that we heard throughout the week that Coach Bull wanted to send these guys off with a bang, and oh boy, have they done that.
The extra point makes it 52-31, and you can see the love for that senior on that Wyoming sideline. The reaction and the reception that he's getting from his teammates, from the support staff. He had just 9 carries all season long. But for a senior in his final college game, 3 tonight, including a 49-yard touchdown run.
And that love you talked about between teammates and the care that that group has for Trey Smith is really exactly what Sean Lewis is trying to build at Kent State. That culture that allows you to kind of win in hard-fought games like this. And we heard incessantly throughout the week that Wyoming was all about sending the backbone of this program, those seniors, off the right way, and they're well on their way to doing just that.
Biggest lead of the day now for Wyoming, and the kick coming back to Kent. And this will be Cooper. And he gets across the 25-yard line. Now for today's Capital One Player of the Game. Is there any doubt? Levi Williams.
Levi Williams has been an X factor in a way that this offense really hasn't had much. Levi Williams was outstanding, particularly in 2 games this year against Colorado State and the Mountain West Conference champions in Utah State. Absolutely owned both of those teams. He played just like this, and it's that quarterback run game that was the difference in this famous Idaho Potato Bowl.
But Crum and Kent State answer with Devontae Walker. 1 play, 78 yards. Flash fast to the house.
You had one job.
Dude, I feel like I'm playing a video game here. This is actual college football we're seeing here today.
This is really poor defense. Obviously, you want to stay as deep as the deepest, as wide as the widest in a situation like this, and that was a blown coverage in the most inopportune time for Wyoming. Now it's going to be the battle of the onside kick.
That is the second scoring drive of over 75 yards in under 10 seconds in the game. They have 656 yards, by the way. That is a new bowl record. But there's Levi again. We were discussing our player of the game. He rushed for over 200 yards, including 4 touchdowns, and also threw for 1, so that's a 5th touchdown.
And Dustin Crum must have heard us announce Levi Williams as the Capital One Player of the Game, because he goes and throws a javelin to Cephas and makes this onside kick a little interesting.
Well, when you have 90 points and closing in on 1,200 yards, that keeps the stats guys busy. It's also shattering all the records in this game. Yards, passing yards, big plays. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl record book, they're going to have to reprint it. Here is an unusual formation for an onside kick.
And you get the timeout by Wyoming in what's called the Polaroid play. Wyoming wants to see how Kent State is going to line up in their onside kick set. And once you see that, you call timeout and you say, okay, guys, this is what the deal is. But you know what? This shape of the football is obviously able to bounce in any way, shape, or form.
By the way, we mentioned that Levi Williams has rushed for over 200 yards, 4 touchdowns on the ground and threw for 1. That has never been done in a bowl game by a quarterback ever. Not just this bowl game, any bowl game in bowl history. 5 touchdowns and 200 yards.
That number is obviously incredible the way you just described it. This is the kicker for me. 9 of 11 for 127 yards and a touchdown and no turnovers in the pass game. Because sometimes the pass game for Wyoming has been non-existent. So to get as much mileage out of that area of Levi Williams today has been enormous for the Wyoming Cowboys. So dial up your favorite onside kick and see if the kicker can get that ball bouncing, get a favorable bounce.
This will be the 6th onside kick of the year for Kent State. This group is 1 of 5 when it comes to recovering its onside kicks for that young man, Andrew Glass. Meanwhile, yesterday at practice, one of the last things Wyoming did in its walkthrough was work on recovering the onside kick.
And so the ball can't be touched by the kick team until it advances past 10 yards or 10 yards and past that. The kick return team can go up and touch it any time they want.
Same formation. So Glass, which way will he kick it? He can kick it to the right, or he could kick it back across his body to the left. And that's exactly what he does, but he didn't get enough on it. It has to go 10 yards, and it's going to roll about 6.
And that was really the third option. They had a play set up to the right, a play set up to the left, and if they got essentially the kick return team for Wyoming spread out, it's just like a run game. You spread out the defense and run up the middle. This time it was the kicker, and so he kicks it, and he essentially is going to try to recover it himself. The bad news is it didn't cover the 10 yards, as you said.
Glass upset with himself. We've all been there. We've all duffed one on a tee box, right?
Yeah, no question.
So 2:54 to play. Wyoming, we're going to see a steady diet of the ball on the ground. And a smart play there by Valladay. He slides to stay in bounds at the 32.
Yeah, the only question left to answer is Wyoming going to go over 400 yards rushing today? That's like Craig Bohl's middle name, is a violent downhill run game, and it's really the ultimate also drive killing game closing offense as well. Outside of Army, Navy, and Air Force, Wyoming does this part of it as about as well as anybody does.
The penalty is going to move the ball back to the 48-yard line. Coach Bohl looking up at the clock. He does not want Kent State to get this ball back. As quickly as Kent State has scored all season long and again today, ball security is huge here.
So Kent State will burn their last time out, I would assume. Or maybe after this next play, actually. But second and...
It's going to be second at about 10 for Coach Williams. That's what he's thinking. Remember, they had to take a timeout early in the second half, remember?
Yeah, and so you're right.
So they just have the one left now.
See if they can funnel it to third down, and then you call a timeout, hoping that you can get off the field after the third down play.
They have 3 tight ends, and the back again is Trey Smith. Smith gets it. He gets to the 38-yard line, and now Sean calls the timeout at the 1:57 mark. So that's it for Kent State. That's their final clock stopper of the day.
Savion Taylor Davis Jr. was running from the backside, and if he doesn't catch Trey Smith may have had his second touchdown of the day, because he was fixing to get outside once again.
Well, for Kent State, they want to go to bowls every year, and that is what has been happening now, right? The culture, the expectation has changed for this Mid-American Conference team. They've done a really nice job offensively, but what we saw today was kind of the story of their season. They were really brilliant offensively, but they had to change a defensive coordinator during the course of the season because of their inconsistencies on that side of the ball.
And Sean Lewis appreciates the seniors on this team about as well as anybody, because this is his 4th year, so that senior group had to buy into what he was preaching when he showed up. And like you said, the culture is on the way to being changed, and bowl year after year is now becoming the expectation. They didn't quite get to that MAC championship that they wanted. They got to the game, but they didn't close it out. Sean Lewis is certainly onto something. And remember, he married the Wisconsin power game, because he was a tight end there as a player, to the spread go fast offense, and it works. It's bizarre sometimes to go fast and run power football, but it works, and it's working well in the MAC, no doubt about it.
These are the best 3 seasons Kent State has had since 72, 73, and 1974. So these are good times. It was a tough day. They had a tough day at the MAC championship game. But they've got something going offensively. They need to get on the defensive side and get things figured out for sure. Kent State cannot stop the clock. Here comes Swen. He's got the first down just across the 30.
And Kent State can't stop the clock, but Swin going out of bounds can stop the clock, which they certainly do not want to do. So Swin knew right at the end that he wanted to get down and keep the clock moving, but he ended up getting shoved out of bounds, and Craig Bohl is like, okay, I might take that running back out and school him on clock management right here.
On the ground again. There goes Trey Smith. He's going to remember his final game, isn't he? He's one of the seniors for Wyoming. We talked about that as well. What a big day this was for the seniors playing their final game for the kids from Laramie.
And Bill, you pointed that out. That's such an important time and reason that teams love to play in games like this. It's the finality of a bowl game is somewhat difficult to deal with, as we see the bucket, yes, of Simplot French fries that are going to get dumped on Craig Bohl. And I hope they don't add Sis's ranch or ketchup to it before they dump it on Craig Bohl's head.
One of the unusual yet great traditions of the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. The winning coach gets doused, oh, not in water and not in Gatorade, but he's going to get a French fry dousing.
And I guarantee you that the coaches appreciate the dry fries as opposed to the chilling Gatorade or water.
Lauren's down there near our bucket of fries.
Yeah, guys, and I got to be honest with you, a lot of the players are over here dipping their hand in the bucket, grabbing some French fries. They need a little snacky time. It has been a long game without a lot of food, and it got significantly colder out here, but who doesn't love some French fries?
Lauren, keep your hand out of the bucket.
I don't know. I'm going after it. I didn't get any at halftime.
Coach knows it's coming.
That was a well-placed bucket of fries. Those fries stay suspended on Coach Bohl for quite some time. It's all about accuracy when you pour the bucket. Coach Bohl is not that agile anymore. And those French fries stay on the person of Coach Bohl for a long time.
Congrats to the Cowboys of Wyoming on winning the famous Idaho Potato Bowl 52-38 on just an incredible performance today from Williams, shattering bowl records. Coming up on the ESPN app, we'll have the Capital One postgame from Boise, and Capital One Bowl Mania continues. Now let's send it to Al Duncan in the Sports Center studio. Welcome to the ESPN app postgame report, presented by Capital One. The festivities are about to begin, but first, this message. All right, we are back in Boise. Congratulations to Wyoming. A tremendous victory today. Wow, what an exciting ball game it was, and a record-shattering day as well for Wyoming.
Yeah, we knew we were going to get great quarterback play out of one side, Dustin Crum. The question was Wyoming's quarterback play. Levi Williams was out of this world in this game.
All right, let's take a look at our Capital One rewarding performance. And, of course, it is number 15 in Brown.
Yeah, an efficient passer today, but it was the quarterback run game. It not only was efficient, but it was explosive. And that's something that Wyoming hasn't had out of that position consistently this year. The hiccups they've had at times was because they didn't have this, but Levi Williams was absolutely enormous in this bowl game.
What's amazing, he ran for over 200 yards in this game today, ran for 4 touchdowns, threw for another. That has never been done by a quarterback in a bowl game in college football history. Just a tremendous performance by him. You know, Wyoming during the course of this season, we saw their Utah State game. We know they could be really good offensively. They were just inconsistent, but today they put it together.
Yeah, and really if you look at their hiccups along the way this year, it's because the quarterback play didn't match what they were doing consistently on the defensive side and what we know you're going to get out of the run game. And when they get quarterback play like Levi Williams today, this is the result.
You know, during the course of the season, we see a lot of football around the country, and teams get an identity. And I think we saw today the identity of Wyoming, what it wants to do, the power of football, the team unity, and playing for each other.
Yeah, and you saw that in Wyoming's bowl practices leading up to this game. Craig Bohl is in charge of this program, and he's respected by the players, and you're always going to get a really, really good effort out of his squad.
Wyoming has a tradition. They're a physical football team, and it comes down to this young man here.
You guys can stand right here.
All right, guys. It's time to put a big bow on this college football season. Congratulations to the winners of the famous Idaho. Score 52-38. You guys all out here with a big smile on your face. And a big smile for this guy over here as he stands. Introduce the executive director, Kevin McDonald. Oh, actually, we're going with Brett Jensen, right? Brett Jensen is going to take care of the MVP trophy. You see your MVP standing up here right now. Levi Williams. Levi Williams, the MVP today. Big numbers you put up today, Levi. The stats speak for itself. 9 of 11, 127 yards through the air. Let's talk about your ground game. 16 rushes, 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. A record-setting day for this quarterback. Levi, how special is this to come out here and get the job done for all these guys standing out here in front of you right now?
Man, it's really awesome. You know, all glory to God. And this game was dedicated to my grandma who just recently passed a couple days ago. And Aiden Eberhardt, I know you're watching on the TV. And just know that we love you. And all the seniors and all these young guys, I love you guys. And I couldn't get it done without you guys. So I love you guys.
You got all the seniors out here. Look, you guys got things going early, stalled out a little bit, but then you got that spark going there in the second quarter, and it carried over into the second half of this football game. What can you say about your performance and what gave you the ability to do that, to get the rock in the end zone time and time again?
You know, I got to credit the guys up front, you know, the big nasties up front, protecting me, opening these holes. And all the tight ends, the swipers, I love you guys. But, you know, it was a great team effort. Defense did their thing, offense did their thing, and special teams did their thing, so it was a great win. Yeah.
All right, and as we send the seniors out, the guys that are heading on to the next chapter of their lives, what is your message to them as you guys leave this program better than you brought it in?
You know, I love you guys. You guys have taught me so much, and we'll stay in touch. All the seniors, love you guys. So, all right, guys.
All right, your MVP, Levi Williams. I hope you like potatoes. We're going to see if Coach Bohl likes potatoes. We're going to ask him about that here in just a moment. I want to introduce Kevin McDonald, the executive director of the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. This is a special one for Kevin, and I know he doesn't want the accolades. I know he wasn't expecting this, but this guy's been here doing this thing for 15 years. And this, like some of the seniors out there, is his swan song. This is his farewell as he bids goodbye. He's done a phenomenal job with this bowl game. This is my first appearance here, but I've heard such great things. I was so excited to get this assignment. So congratulations to you on such a great career, running a great show out here. And why don't you get ready to present Coach Bohl the Idaho Potato Trophy. Tremendous performance. Your team, you guys came out strong. You came out physical, and you said that you wanted this football team to right the ship, especially after the way you guys finished against Hawaii. You wanted to come in here and show these guys what you guys were made of, and you guys did just that. How special is this football team?
Well, there's no doubt. First of all, I want to say thanks to Kevin for the invitation, and along with ESPN. This is a great bowl. But these guys out here, the resolve of what they're about, how hard they work, how much they believe in one another, the team unity is really outstanding. And so one thing around, do not count the Cowboys out. I can tell you that. And we will ride for the brand and cowboy up.
Ride for the brand. And Coach, how did you like that French fry bath? I just got to know.
I liked it a lot better than the Gatorade bath, I can tell you that.
I love it. Coach, to all of you out here, job well done. We appreciate all the efforts. It's been an awesome season. Wyoming getting the win here tonight, 52-38. Congrats on winning the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Thank you for watching the Capital One